Hey guys, welcome back to another Super 6 predictions video. Only joking. The next round is on March 30th due to the international break, which I saw as a good chance to mix up the content. Instead, I'm going to do a Q&A. So before I start, thanks to those who have asked me questions. I did receive a mixture of different topics regarding certain players, managers, unpopular opinions, preferences, even stuff including myself, plus more. Also bear in mind when it comes to thoughts and opinions on certain things, my views will most likely be either very similar or different to other people's. So even if you don't agree with them, that's okay. I mean, after all, you are entitled to your own opinions, which is fine. This should be a very interesting watch for you guys, which I also hope you enjoy. So anyway, let's start with the first question. I currently play for Winchmore Hill. We're based in North London. I joined around late August last year, not long after the season started, so I've been there for a few months now. But yeah, it's been going alright so far. I've got some goal contributions, good bunch of teammates to play with, we all get along really well. The league we play in is mainly just London based, so we do face other sides all round from north, south, east and west. And in terms of cup games, depending who we're drawn against, it'll most likely be either another London team from a different league or literally anywhere out of London. Plus the overall standard is really good as well, so yeah, I like it. I'm a centre midfielder who can also play central attack and mid as well. I've been playing that position for a long time now and I feel that role suits me best because I like to get on the ball and try and make things happen, whether that's creating chances or scoring goals, but that all depends on how games pan out. And it teaches you discipline because I focus a lot on my positional awareness to receive passes and using my common sense to make the correct passes going forward. So decision making is very key. Defensive wise, knowing when to squeeze, when to drop and to keep our shape. And again, having possession of the ball, knowing when to take one touch, two touch, when to switch to play to the other side, when to play through ball. So it really makes you think. It's like a game of chess. You have to play every move right. And you know, every time I play, I try my best to give 100%, which is the least that I can do. There is only so much that I can do on the field anyway, but we're always a team. I have made mistakes before, but I have learned from them, which is, you know, a good process to go through. Learn from your mistakes and yeah, just build on from that. So, but yeah, I do enjoy the position. Quite a few actually, I'll name them. St Albans City, Boreham Wood, Coney Heath, Aldenham, who are now known as Edgware and Kingsbury, Sarah, Evergreen, Cuffley and Winchmore Hill. So those are the 8 non-league clubs I have played for since coming back from abroad in 2012. By the way, they're all really good clubs and I have very good memories playing for them in the past. So yeah, I've enjoyed my time here. Wow, that really got me thinking. Best I can remember is when I was at St Albans. We had an away game, I believe it was against Cheshunt, where I had the ball in the middle, played a quick 1-2 with my teammate around an opposition player. However, the pass that was intended for me was a bit too heavy, so it was literally a 50-50 between me and another opposition player who tried to lunge in to intercept that pass. But luckily, I just got to the ball first. So I shot first time from about 25 yards out, which curled into the top right corner. And it was mad scenes after that. But yeah, all my other goals have pretty much come from closer range, so I'll just stick with that one. No, I haven't. I have assisted from corners though, but not scored from that very tight angle, especially when the opposition players already have both back and near posts covered anyway. But yeah, I normally just whip balls in the box and hope someone gets a head onto it. But no, I haven't scored from there. Let's just say I've been very lucky not to. I have picked up slight knocks before, like a tweaked hamstring, a small calf issue, little knee discomfort, but nothing major that required surgery to fix. whether it's a ruptured ligament damage, a torn muscle, a broken leg, or even worse, an ACL. Most of the knocks I have picked up have just come from impact. It's like yesterday when I played, I got caught on the knee, but luckily I was still able to play on. And I woke up this morning with a bruise on that same knee. It's like I'm able to walk around fine, I can still put weight on it and walk normally, but it hurts more when I bend and actually touch it. So yeah, I've been very fortunate not to have picked up any serious injuries in my career so far. Nope, never been sent off. I have been booked before, which never really led to a second yellow or straight red, though I remember during one of the seasons before I did pick up 5 yellow cards, which resulted in a 1-match ban. But other than that, no. I have played on both surfaces before. To be honest, I don't mind either, but if I had to choose one, it's obviously grass. It doesn't necessarily have to be a carpet. As long as it's in good condition and playable, that's all that matters. But with the Astro being an all-weather pitch, if you don't fancy playing on a pitch that's either muddy and waterlogged or really dry, then the Astro is a definite go-to. However, after a match or a session, after you take your boots off and you tilt it upside down, all the bits fall off, which I'm not that bothered about, to be honest. But yeah, grass. I don't mind either. It feels good playing midweek games under the lights and of course under the sunshine on weekends. If this question is more based on before and after those games, then I'll go through it. So basically, before midweek games, we all work and then we have to travel straight to the venues after, depending how far we have to travel. So not everyone would arrive on time. And then by the time we finish, we all have to quickly get changed and go home, as we all have to work the next morning. But whereas weekends, we have more time to do that. So like, let's say on a Saturday morning, again, depending how far we have to travel, we would spend maybe half of the morning traveling, a bit of it, and then by the time we get to the places, by the time we finish, you know, we go in the clubhouse, grab some food, drinks, socialise with the lads, even play some darts if there's a dartboard somewhere. But yeah, based on that, weekends. Great question. I'll name 5 that came to mind. First one is Soccer AM. Back when Tim Lovejoy and Helen Chamberlain hosted the show, the connection between them two was really good, plus the overall content was great to watch. The crossbar and volley challenges, the dance-offs, you name it. It was a great way to be entertained every Saturday morning before going out to play football. The second one is Gillette Soccer Saturday. That chemistry between Chris Kamara and Jeff Stelling was iconic. Best thing about them two was they didn't take themselves seriously on camera. They loved having a laugh and of course banter with the other lads, which was hilarious to watch. Third one is Match of the Day. Back then, I used to wake up early every Sunday morning to watch the highlights from the day before, which featured the Saturday afternoon games. Plus, the theme tune and the way they presented the show back then was iconic. Absolute class. Fourth one is Wayne Rooney Street Striker. A bunch of random teenagers would turn up to do these challenges, whether it was in a car park, a dump yard, even on a river canal on a boat. Again, you name it. It was great to watch. And last one was Football Superstar. I knew someone previously before who once featured on the show. He had a trial with Inter Milan and he came runners-up. So he came that close to securing a professional contract with Inter Milan. But kids nowadays won't understand how great those programs were. They'll have to watch it themselves to actually believe it. But yeah, those are my top 5. Good question. The Croatian club I support is called Istra 1961. I had their home shirt on in the last video. They're currently in the top division with the likes of Dinamo Zagreb and Hajduk Split. So basically, Istra is the name of the county where my mum's hometown is located. So it's got nothing to do with any players or the history. It's mainly because of location. Also, I don't really expect too much from them either, as there are much better teams in the league anyway. However, if they do ever win a league title someday, I would be really happy with that. So yeah. Look, don't get me wrong, he's a very nice guy, professional in his press conferences. He got England to a World Cup semi-final and a Euros final, so he has done very well in recent tournaments. However, as a manager, in terms of his squad selections, starting 11 lineups, style of play, choice of subs, things he previously said in press conferences have been very questionable. He's got that reputation where in the past he has, and continues to do so, select players who have either hardly played for their clubs or who have been in really poor form, yet completely overlook other players who have been in really good form by leaving them out. It makes no sense. He even selected a certain someone who went against his morals by moving to Saudi Arabia just for the money. You've got to say things as it is. England fans have every right to criticise him, and I don't blame them. He even contradicted himself after the Brazil game on Saturday, by saying that he doesn't like losing, yet he was happy with the performance. Well, how can you be happy with losing then? Very soft. Look, he's got a very good, talented group of players in his disposal, and he really needs to find a way to get the best out of them in the Euros. So the answer to this question is no. However, this is his final chance to win a trophy for England, otherwise he's gone. He's got to win something, simple as that. There's no other way to go on about it. He joined Bayern to win trophies, which was an absolute guarantee. I just find it a very weird but also a funny coincidence that he could potentially end his first full season at the club without any silverware. I mean, it's mad. It's like Harry Kane is a world-class striker, and someone like him deserves to win trophies. He cannot afford to end his career without any silverware. Look at the size of Bayern. They are one of the most biggest and successful Bundesliga clubs in Germany, and I'm definitely sure he'll win something next season. So yeah, I'm sure of that. It would be absolutely great to see England win the Euros. They haven't won a trophy since the 1966 World Cup. A trophy is massively overdue. Will England win the Euros? Well, if you look at our group, we have Denmark, Serbia and Slovenia, which England should be able to top that group, no problem. But when we get to the last 16, that's where we have to jump over a much bigger barrier, depending who we're up against. And well, I still feel right now it's a bit too early to say. I mean, we have to make at least the semi-final, if not the final, and win the whole thing. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. That's for sure. Watching live games in beer gardens in the sun, that'll be nice. But yeah, we can only find out. Yeah, that's a really tough question. Would I rather win the Premier League or the Champions League this season? Well, based on current form and momentum, it's got to be the Premier League, as we're top. However, we do have Man City coming up next weekend, which is going to be a really tough game, so I'm not going to get my hopes up. As for the Champions League, we've never won the Champions League, and we've got Bayern Munich in the quarter-final, which is mad. Man, honestly, this is the hardest question to answer right now. I wish I could say both, but reality is that's not going to happen. If I had to choose one, well, this is really playing with my head. Like, we haven't won the Premier League title since the 2003-04 Invincible season. That was 20 years ago. And like I just said, we've never won the Champions League before, so I'm sorry, I can't answer that, I'm afraid. Okay, this is very similar to the Croatian club question. So basically, when I first moved to Australia back in 2008, we ended up in Melbourne, which was the start of the 2008-9 season. If I remember correctly, back then the league only had 8 teams, which was very small, and also the game was still growing there. But yeah, also considering Melbourne Victory were the only Melbourne-based team in the league at the time, it made sense to support them due to our location, which is exactly what I did. Also, Melbourne Heart, aka Melbourne City, were formed a year later, but didn't play their first league game till 2010. So since there were 2 Melbourne teams, I just stuck with Melbourne Victory. And yeah, I mean, I don't really follow them as much anymore, to be honest. I do see their final results pop up on social media every now and then, and even see small bits of their highlights, but not much else. But yeah, I hope they're still doing well in the league, and yeah, good luck to them in the future. My answers to those questions are locked in. Yes, I did leave out others as I couldn't get around to them, but either way, thanks again for asking. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys again soon for round 46.